want to take the time to find a place that's not going to make you hate life. So I moved into this apartment over a year ago, and there's definitely some things I wish I had known before moving out on my own, or just in particular choosing this current apartment place. It's a video for those who are moving out for the first time. It can also apply to if you're buying your first condo. As someone who has been living in one for the past year, I feel like I am probably one of the better people to talk about what's good and what's bad about living in an apartment and what to look for when you are choosing a place to live. So whether you're about to move out or you're just curious, here's everything that I've learned. I thought I had a pretty good budget set up for when I was going to move out. I knew about 2 months ahead from signing my lease to the move-in date. So I was squirreling away money, making sure that I was budgeting and saving as much as I possibly could. But there are costs that definitely feel like they come out of nowhere. Things to definitely keep in mind when you are moving out, especially for your first time. Some of the unexpected costs that I didn't realize. I made a more detailed budget video talking about living alone my first year and how much I spent. If you're interested in that, you can go watch that. Just to touch upon what I wish I had prepared a little bit more for, which was budgeting for the unexpected costs, like all the cleaning supplies that I would need, the garbage bags, all the deposits. I didn't realize that you had to put a deposit down for hydro and electricity. I just thought you would just start paying monthly, and that your first grocery trip will be the most expensive thing ever because you are starting from scratch. Basically, you have no condiments, you have no little thing. It's going to be expensive, and at least for me, it was giving me a lot of anxiety because I did not want to be spending that much money. Now, I will say I felt like I panicked when I did my big purchases for the little things like cleaning supplies. There were a lot of things that I didn't need to buy right away. If you can borrow a mop and bucket to clean up before you move in, then you can wait a little bit before you purchase your own. I bought all the cleaning supplies that I didn't need right that second. So I wish I had just been a bit more mindful and really had a clear list of what I needed. It felt like I went into the store and blacked out and just was like throwing stuff into my cart. You're really just looking at getting stuff to make sure that you are comfortable living in this new space. If you are just moving into a new space and you have all this stuff from a previous household, great, you save money there. But if it's your first time, definitely I would say make more frequent trips to the store, but spend less. I feel like you're gonna have a bit more sense of what you need immediately. And I feel like you don't need the best quality stuff at the beginning. You want stuff that lasts, but I'm talking about if you don't know what dish detergent to use or washing detergent, like just go for what's cheap, what's gonna do the job for you, and then go from there. I definitely thought I had my budget figured out, but I definitely also didn't plan for the things that would make my place comfortable to live in. Oh, also, if you think you can live without a couch for even just a couple of weeks and you're fine sitting on lawn chair, patio furniture, or just watching TV from bed, think again. It was really like torture. I wanted to enjoy my space, but I was confined to sitting on these uncomfortable chairs or laying in bed, which is what I did when I lived with my parents. I was just always in my bedroom, and that's the last thing I wanted to do. So definitely be aware that living without a comfortable seating place is going to be really annoying. There's, of course, a lot of emotional shift. It's very emotional for me. It's going up and down with the emotions of looking forward to finally feeling like an adult. I still am in my early 30s, and it definitely felt like I was behind. I still feel like I'm behind in terms of my peers and where they're at. I was just ready to move on with my life, and I was so excited about moving out that once I did, I realized that I was sad about leaving my parents' place. And it wasn't necessarily like a bad sad. It was just a big change, and I don't do very well with changes, but I've realized that I still deal with them. I still get through them. I have in the past, I will in the future. I just definitely wasn't expecting to be so emotional leaving my parents' place. Living alone can feel lonely sometimes. I think I honestly haven't really spent a lot of time alone in my place because I am always doing something. Like if I look back, I don't think I've had a whole weekend to myself because I've gone out to meet with friends or gone back home to see my family. I decide to pick up a weekend shift, temping. So it can feel lonely, but I feel like I've been running away from that feeling for a while by making myself work. I would really love a couple of days of just being here on my own without having any obligations to meet up with people. But I know I'd probably get bored really fast as well. Just a warning, your emotions are going to be everywhere and it can get lonely at times. I also definitely feel guilty for resting. That's a personal issue that I struggle with, but it seems to have gotten worse living on my own. It feels like anytime I do have a minute, I should be cleaning or making YouTube videos or editing because I feel guilty just vegging out on the couch and watching TV. It's feeling guilt over not being productive in my own space. Then you have this combined weird feeling of being able to do whatever you want, but you also don't know what to do, if that makes any sense. I have that struggle, especially with decorating my place. I have a hard time putting stuff up on the walls. I've done a little bit of it, but it comes bursts of energy where I'm like, screw it. I'm going to drill a hole in the wall and put this in. So I've done that. And for the most part, it's worked out really well, except for the shelves in the bathroom. I am too scared to put anything heavy on that. So right now it is just holding all my toilet paper on there. And it probably will until I need to take them down and put back the old shelving. I'm just scared it's going to break and I'm afraid it's going to crash in the middle of the night and give me the biggest heart attack. But it definitely gets really overwhelming when you have a long list of things that you want to do, but you're also trying to budget. You have this weird pressure to make everything look perfect. Thanks to social media, I would say that I have that feeling myself. You need to make it aesthetic and you need to be productive when you live alone, when really most of the time it's just you and a pile of laundry. Everything in life is actually a lot more slow going. It's been over a year and my den that I am working on is only slowly starting to come together. I'm going to be doing IKEA pack system, getting a new desk, and then just using everything else that I have already to decorate the room. And then I feel like I can start working on the little fine details, but only social media will make you feel like you have to have your place cleaned and livable within a week of moving into a new place, but that's very unrealistic. I feel like if I had tried to get my place completely done right off the bat, there would have been a lot of purchases that I didn't really like. And I've been really into finding unique curated items from small shops, especially around the area that I live, so it doesn't feel super mass produced. I say that right after saying I'm going to be buying IKEA stuff. Actually, a lot of my stuff is from IKEA. It's just so good. I wanted my apartment to feel like a Pinterest board. It's getting there, but it's slow going. So things I have learned that I don't need is I don't need so many plates. A ton from when I lived on my own before. Most of them I gave to my mom to use when I moved in with them. A lot of my kitchen utensils and stuff went to being used at other people's houses because I didn't know when I'd be on my own. I didn't have to buy any new knives, forks, all those small utensils that you would need on a daily basis. And I had my starter small plates, large plates, a lot of them. But then I also bought a set from Costco, which I actually use on a daily basis because I really like those plates. So that was a good buy. And I think it was only $30 on sale for a 12-piece set. You definitely don't need a giant matching set of utensils like knives. Don't need 8 wine glasses unless you have that many friends or family members. I actually don't have one because I don't drink, and I think if people were to come over and they wanted wine, I wouldn't be offering them any of that. You don't need any fancy cleaning gadgets until you know that you do, like my robo vacuum. my robot vacuum, or Roombot as my nephew likes to call it. I actually use that once a week. For sure, it's set every Thursday for 9 o'clock to go while I'm at work. But then I'll also use it maybe another 2 to 3 times. It goes up and down, but it has a mopping feature on it as well. I didn't buy that until 10 months into living here, and yeah, it's something that I don't regret. I thought about it for a long time and made it work with my budget, but you don't need that right away. Until you know what kind of person you are, if you have a hard time keeping things clean, or you have a pet, lots of fur on the ground, it might be a good option for you, but you don't need it right away. You don't need a bunch of decor, like I mentioned. You have to remember that while you're decorating your place, you also need to still be saving for your retirement, for your future goals, for whatever. You're gonna have to be spending money on. You don't need to furnish every single inch of your apartment just yet. In terms of choosing an apartment, this is something that I wish I would have known. Right now I have construction going on, and that would be fine if I worked Monday to Friday and I didn't make any YouTube videos, but I do. I did not realize how much the sound would piss me off. Right at 7 o'clock. They're done at 3 at least, but between 7 and 12 is the time I'm most productive. Not only the noise, but the amount of dust, like my screens for my windows, dirty. I cleaned my patio. It looks clean, and then I took my broom to it to sweep off the lint from my dryer. I was shocked at the amount of dirt that had accumulated with just a couple months of them starting construction. It was a lot. Whenever I go sit out there, I have to make sure I'm not gonna go sit on my white couch after, because you will see like dirt on it. Every day there's more dirt. So that, and if there was one thing I wish I had just gone with going to the top floor of my apartment building, obviously this is like budget dependent. I don't plan on moving out of this apartment, even though I have the urge to. I want something new, something bigger. I'm really gonna try and work on staying here so that I can live below my means. And then hopefully my next step might be towards an actual purchase of a townhouse. That won't be for another couple of years, and that's okay. I think I'm just changing my mindset with enjoying the space that I'm living in now, instead of constantly thinking about the future and never appreciating what I have right in front of me. So that being said, I've had some annoying neighbors playing music very loudly. They're gone, thank gosh. In relation to your job, definitely think about where you're going to be living, especially apartment-wise. And top floor, obviously, no one is living above you, but the rent is more expensive. At least that's how it goes here. The higher it is, the more expensive the rent is. And then you also want to think about not only just construction, but what side you're facing. The other side of my apartment building faces a bar. I don't hear it, thank goodness, but I know that every weekend there is someone moving in and out of that side of the apartment because they're not realizing how annoying living next to that bar is. So yeah, definitely think about that, because then that's going to increase your cost, right? Because you're going to be wanting to move out sooner than later. I think if you're going to move somewhere, you should know your intention. Is this actually going to be short term? Then there's some stuff you can compromise on. But if you are like, I'm going to live here for at least a couple of years, you want to take the time to find a place that's not going to make you hate life. Fortunately, the construction is going to end sometime soon. It's not the end of the world. I may do with buying a new camera and a mic and whatnot. If I could tell my past self, okay, the construction's going to be a bit annoying, maybe I would have second guessed choosing this apartment. I think what everyone needs is storage. But I am a firm believer, after realizing that that's what I was doing, is the more storage you have, you're just gonna find stuff to fill it up with. So I'm really working on just limiting to what I have already. Yes, I'm buying an IKEA pack system, but that's just to make room in there for a desk so that I can also film and utilize it properly and have it feel nice, because right now it's like that room in Monica's apartment from Friends where they open the door and it's like junk inside, and I don't want that. I want another space in my apartment where I can go and chill out. Said once that's done, then I don't plan on buying anything else and utilizing the storage that I already have properly. Oh, also command hooks. I'm not allowed to use them, and past experiences, they actually don't really work very well. I will say I did buy these shower thingies that come with like a sticker. I've used them when I lived on my own and at my parents', but I tried taking it off in my sister's basement suite and I couldn't. That being said, I didn't try very hard. I just left it there. So I used it again. But next time when I do move out, I will try harder to get it off. But it's been a great shower caddy, like storage unit, storage something. Just be aware of stuff that you're sticking on the wall. With the command strips, I've just damaged walls before and ripped off the paint. Definitely wouldn't recommend them unless you know for sure how to take them off properly. And what's worth spending money on, I would say, is also your mattress and your couch. And just like seating wise, it's what's gonna make or break the room. If you don't like your couch because you cheaped out, safe to buy another one that you like. If you're gonna be buying something new, definitely research it. I like my couch, I love how it looks, but I'm not happy with the foam that's in here. I'm looking to see if I can somehow get it replaced. Because it is already like smushing and losing its shape. Do I still plan to keep it? Yes. I'm just gonna make do with what I got and see if I can fix it without having to buy a whole new couch. Another thing I will add about what to make sure when you're looking for in an apartment is lighting. I knew I needed something south-facing. There comes with a drop back with that, so I get more daylight during the winter for sure, but it gets hella hot with the sun beating down for majority of the day. I don't necessarily mind it. My boyfriend gets really hot and sweaty. He won't say anything, but if he had to choose, I think he would probably choose a north-facing apartment where it's probably a lot cooler. So not only does that make the place warmer, but if I'm using my AC, I'm using it a lot more to keep it cool, so the costs go up on that. But the payoff of having light for most of the day and it's not super dark, I think it's worth it. It's okay to not have it all together when you first move into your new place. Really enjoy it. Make sure you've made some good decisions that you can live with. I'm still figuring this all out myself, but I am really enjoying it. That's like the fun part. Your place doesn't need to be perfect. It can be budget friendly. You don't need to spend a lot of money. If you do need to spend money, spend it wisely or where you think you need it. Your place doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be yours.